Welcome, Truth Tribe. If you are new here, I am Daune Thompson. I am known as the Soul CEO Activator. I decode the boulders so that you can design the life that you actually deserve and not the one that you were told to settle for. Truth Tribe exists for one reason: self-awareness. Get your shit together, basically, is what Truth Tribe has been created for. Your health, your wealth, your relationships, and all of it in between. And let me just say this clearly: you are already perfect. There is nothing wrong with you. We're not fixing you, we're remembering you. You don't need an astrology chart for Truth Tribe, but it definitely helps during astrology and chart discussions if you want faster clarity. So if you want to go grab a free birth chart, go to ideserveitnow.com and just hit free astro in the header and you can download it and save it there. Alrighty, let's get into today's truth. Money and worth mirrors. What your bank account is telling you. All right, so let's talk about the relationship that nobody wants to look at honestly. This is actually probably the biggest one that comes up the most for me is money, but we don't want to look at it honestly. I didn't for a long time. I see clients left and right that don't want to look at it, whether you have a ton of it and you're using it, or you don't have enough of it and you're using it as your excuse. Money, because money isn't just money, my friends. It's not math, it's not luck, and it's definitely not punishment. Money is worth made visible, which means your finances aren't failing you, they're mirroring you in some way, but will manipulate to see it from a different version. I can't get it because of that. I'm not getting it because of that. I've said I want it, but I'm not doing this. Right? And before anyone tightens up saying, oh, it's not my fault, Dawn, breathe. Breathe into this. This isn't shame. This is just awareness. Right? The big reframe, and this changes everything. Money doesn't respond to hustle, to neediness, to force. It responds to self-permission and self-respect. Your income, your savings, your debt, your spending, generosity, and receiving habits are all answering this one question. How safe do you feel valuing yourself? Right? My mission is to raise self-worth of the planet. So this is a big deal for me. This is a big deal for people. I have a company branded I deserve it. Yet we think it's all about things and having a better life, but let's apply I deserve it to how safe do you feel to valuing yourself? Do you deserve it? Do you have what you want to deserve? Not loving yourself, not believing information, valuing. Those things are just great. Oh, I gotta love myself more. I gotta tell myself happy thoughts. Valuing yourself. And here's the part that most people avoid. You can't be confident and still under earn, right? When you are confident in who you are, what you do, what you want, where you're going, what you're good at, you can't under earn, right? You can be confident and still not make money, which is my point. But you can't be confident and not know what to do to make money. So you can be confident and go, I really am confident, but you can still under earn. You can be spiritual and still leak your value and your worth. You can be generous to people and still abandon yourself financially, which means money is not about effort. I have clients who never need to work again, day in their life, but they're still leaking emotional value and emotional worth and relationship value, as we talked about in the last call, and relationship worth and their energy, which means money is not about effort, it's about embodiment. I mean, it's about what it actually is. Your value will match it in whatever version it is that you create value on. Let's look at your astrology wheel. Let's look at the Lighthouse Astrology prompt. Right? If you were to go and look at your birth chart, pull up your birth chart and look at Venus. Venus rules money, beauty, value, worth, and receiving. So just bring Lighthouse Astrology into this. Remember, I don't teach traditional. I just want to know where you're standing in the center. And if you turn yourself around in your chart and look for the little green guy, it looks like a little green Martian, go look for Venus, find out what house it sits in. And Venus in your chart shows how you receive, how you value yourself, how you allow pleasure, how you experience your worth. Or do you sacrifice it? Or do you hide it? Or do you play small? Or are you burning yourself out? So where Venus is in your chart and what house it is, what sign it is, and what house it's in. Ask yourself, do I allow ease in this category of life or earn love the hard way in this category? Because Venus rules love, right? So is it hard for you to be loved? That's a value. That's a money connection. If you can't be lovable and you can't connect and you can't open up, you're going to have a hard time doing the same thing with money. Do I receive without guilt in this category where Venus sits? Do I downplay my value to stay liked? I'm going to share with you guys real quick. Let me share this with you. I want you to see this. I'm going to just pull it up while I'm talking. Um, this is the wheel you all can download in your community walls, right? But again, your birth chart will overlap this wheel, right? And I want you to go, okay, where does Venus sit in your chart? Where you bring beauty and value and love. Do you feel valuable? Right? Mine sits in my 10th house at the top. Long-term goals, public status, reputation, fame. I just talked about last week or the week before about how I hid astrology. Right? It was my reputation. What will people think? Will they judge me? And then I was like, kiss my ass. Like, this works so good. Why won't I help people with what I know? I don't care if I'm judged. So it changed that energy. It changed, my public image, all of that. I brought in the beauty of what Venus was in the sign that it was in, which is Pisces, which rules spiritual. Right? So I was avoiding myself. What if it's in your 5th house? Right? What if it's in your 4th house? What if it's in your money house and you're like not bringing in the value that you deserve? So I want you to look at this wheel and consider this is lighthouse astrology, my friends. Your chart just tells you what house you're having to categorize yourself and go, how am I showing up where Venus is? That's the big takeaway here. How am I showing up where Venus sits in my chart? Do I downplay my value to stay liked? I did. Do I overgive to avoid asking? I did. Venus struggles don't mean you're bad with money. They mean you were taught that love had conditions. Money follows the same rules. Money was taught that it had conditions. And the truth about not enough, right? If money feels tight, delayed, stressful, or heavy, ask this gently. Has this always been a theme in my life? Can I see a pattern? Right? I guarantee you there's a part of it that you've been raised to think about money that way. Whether it was controlling, whether it was used to manipulate, whether it was used with strings attached, whether it was always an IOU, whether it was hard to get, whether it was told that it was evil and not, there was something along that line. Ask yourself that question. Has it always been this theme in my life? Okay. Can I see a pattern? Where do I still believe I have to prove my worth? Because money doesn't chase people who are proving it. It flows toward people who are anchored in it. When I anchored into that energy of who I am, it changed the game. Worth doesn't come from working harder, my friends. I have a lot of successful clients in my network and they just burnt out. You're burnt out. This is bullshit too. Waiting longer, suffering more, being nicer, playing smaller. Worth comes from clarity. And that's what I got when I finally woke up and said, oh, what am I doing? Right? Your number 2 prompt in your chart. Go look for Taurus. What house is being ruled by the sign Taurus? Venus and Taurus go together. But Taurus is the money house, the money sign. And so if you look where Taurus, what category is holding the sign of Taurus? Again, that's what we're talking about next week in the class I'm teaching. And so if you want to do a relationship check, Recode, That's what we're doing. We're doing a reality check recode next week to see where these signs are in your chart. And if you already know them and you want to recheck, show up. You're going to love it. So go look for Taurus. Taurus rules money, safety, security, building the body, what you build slowly and sustainably. Where does Taurus sit in your chart? And ask yourself in that category. Do I rush money or trust my timing? Do I build stability or I live in survival mode? Am I afraid to move? Am I holding on like a miser or am I overspending? Do I equate struggle with virtue? Do I let money support me or do I let it test me? We have to start asking money questions because they're energy of money questions. They're not about you deserving money. You all deserve to be multimillionaires, and you can be easily. If Taurus feels activated right now, it's because your nervous system, Taurus is the energy of money. Uranus is in there. Not for long, but it's been in there, triggering all of us. Your nervous system is learning a new frequency right now in this universe right now, in this new year, in this new forward motion of freedom and picking you. So safety without sacrifice. That's what, if your Taurus is activated, you want safety without sacrifice. You don't want to have to sacrifice your needs to be safe and feel valuable. Silly. You know this. So why money feels emotional as well right now is because it is. It absolutely is because outside of you, everybody's bombarding you on the market and the money and food costs more and this is that. And it's like instead of looking inside and seeing what can I do to make my life better, period. Right? Because money is stored emotion, fear, it's trust. Do you trust yourself with your own money? Safety, self-respect, sovereignty, being independent to make it, do it, have it, and create it and save it and keep it yourself. If money conversations trigger you, which is why I'm bringing it up in the new year, it's not about numbers, it's about your identity. And here's the kicker, your body knows when you're undervaluing yourself before your mind will admit it. And that's why money issues often show up with exhaustion, resentment, burnout, anxiety, self-doubt, or when you get unwell or ill or sick or something happens, the first thing you think about is, oh, how can I pay for this? Instead of, it doesn't matter what it costs, I'm going to make myself better, valuing you first over what it's going to cost. Because they're all saying the same thing. Your body is flaring up saying, I'm ready to be treated better, starting by you, Dawn, Jane, whoever you are, right? I'm ready to be treated better. And it's the body saying, please, I'm ready to be treated better by you. This is what we have to start looking at because we turn it into paper money. Paper has nothing to do with it. Stop waiting for more money to feel safe in your body, in your life. This is big, right? Money does not create safety. Self-trust does. Confidence does. And when you trust yourself, you charge differently, you choose differently, you spend differently, you receive differently, you love differently, you value your relationships and your energy. For me, money value is time. It's not paper, it's not money, it's time. My mind had to shift that reality of time being my money to determine it, right? I value my time more, which means that's what my value is. That's what I charge according to how much time you're taking from me. That's what you will be charged. That's the point of it. We have to look at ourselves and go, wait a minute, do I value myself enough to not spend so much time and lower my value? I want to spend time on me. I want to pick me. I want to value my soul, my life, my choices. Money follows leadership, my friends, and leadership starts inside, and confidence comes from daily practice. So your activation, everybody tap your money and value worth in here, okay? I remember to repeat after me. This is nervous system. This is your immune center. Activate your thymus. I am courage. Repeat after me. I am love. I am truth. This always gives us thumbs up. This is good. I love how the Zoom does that for us. Repeat after me. I know courage. I know love. I know truth. Your reality check reset. Here's your community update. The reality check reset is this week's invitation to all of you. Self-awareness of your blueprint is going to either be driving you into success this new year or silently sabotaging you. I created a structured protocol to reveal your emotional blocks, or at least see yourself for a change, and realign every outcome in your life by at least admitting how you show up. How you show up to the parties of your life and in the relationships of your life. And if this is landing, it's because you're ready for this reset, not for a lecture. I'm not here to lecture you. I'm here to show you you. That's it. That's why I show up. Self-awareness all day long. So the reality check reset, your entire reality, is Monday, January 26th at 6 p.m. This is where we are, right? We're going to decode your worth patterns, identify where you leak energy, where you're showing up and how you show up, reset your money frequency, and anchor self-trust in real time. See it. So the sign-up details are below and are on my social media, in my social media links. Go to my bios, they'll tap in right there. This isn't about making more money, my friends. It's about becoming the version of you that money trusts, aligns with, and brings in like a boomerang, because you're literally attracting it. It's a no-brainer. Money isn't punishing you, it's partnering with you. And the moment you stop negotiating your worth, everything recalibrates. I will see you on Monday. If you have any questions, find me. You all know how to find me, and send me an email, DM, whatever you want, and I'll fill you in if you can't find the notes or you don't get the link or the email. Check your inbox. I love you all. Have a great day. Brightest blessings. Take care.